She is constantly seeking attention, either consciously or subconsciously. If she's not doing this through social media, she's going to be doing this through different ways that she's getting ready for the day and the way that she's going to do her hair, nails, and makeup when she goes out or when she goes to the workplace. And I'm going to tell you this, if she's in a work environment, if she's out with her friends, no matter whatever the case may be, because of the mating thought process that they oftentimes are automatically prone to because of Mother Nature, if there is a high status, attractive man around her, you will notice that she can't even help it. She will naturally start to attempt to make herself more visible.
He's so nice, and he's the guy that I should want, but it's like I need a little bit of like a, you're going to send me to the psych ward, and it's just not giving that.
Nope, she's not.
I will never trust bitches again, I swear to God. Go ahead. She's sick. Hey, I'm stuck in this car though. She gotta take me home, but damn, I would never trust bitches again.
I've said it before, brothers, and I'll say it again. These modern women are out of control. If we were all in a boardroom together, and the West was like one large company, with someone standing up to offer the idea that half of our base should try living without consequence, the idea would be so laughable that the person suggesting it would be fired on the spot. Unfortunately, that's just not how societies function. Instead, this is a problem that happened organically, one that we just have to stand on the high ground Kenobi style and see how it all pans out as we travel in the correct direction ourselves. Unsurprisingly, when looking below at the Western's women's side of things, it's all pretty unhinged. The other day, I came across a true crime documentary about such a case called Perfect Wife. In this article titled, California Mom Who Faked Kidnapping Acts Like Hoax Never Existed as Blindsided Husband Breaks Silence, Stephanie Nolasco with Fox breaks it down. This one's gonna shock you. Sherri Papini's ex-husband is still wondering why the mother of two faked her kidnapping. I do believe the core thing would be attention, Keith Papini told Fox News Digital. I think she likes it when people feel for her and look at her as a victim, at anyone's cost. To be honest, I don't think she's capable of seeing what she did and the lives that it affected, the ripple effect, how much pain she caused to so many people. I always think about all the people who tried to help during those 22 days she was missing, Keith reflected. All the kids that probably weren't allowed to ride their bikes anymore, all the women that probably didn't go jogging anymore. I don't think she has any understanding of how detrimental it was. After 7 years of silence, Keith is speaking out about the high-profile hoax that rocked his Redding, California community. There are some details that I'm going to skate over here for the sake of time, but here's the gist. Keith tells the interviewer that he was sort of blindsided about the whole thing. The woman in question, Sherri, which honestly should have been the first red flag, was what many of the women in the West are to hide ulterior motives, a performer. She'd write him songs and a ton of other crap, taking pictures and videos with the kids to portray herself to the rest of the world as a loving, loyal mother and wife. But as we've learned here on Man Guide, this really doesn't make a lick of difference if the behavior isn't consistent, which it isn't for about 80+% of the chicks on this side of the planet. Even the best actors, when the rings are on, finally start to show their true colors. That said, the signs are always there. It's just that some guys don't learn the right lessons in time to see them.
I packed my bag with me to go surprise my ex-boyfriend in New York City for his birthday. My ex-boyfriend and I used to see each other weekly, but now that I moved, I don't get to see him often, so this is a really big deal. He's had this trip planned with all of our friends for a while now, but last minute my husband and I decided to go surprise him. Even though he's my ex-boyfriend, he is still my best friend in the entire world, and we stayed so close. So I am so excited to surprise him and see the look on his face and spend 4 days with him in New York City. I'm also so excited that my husband gets to come with me because him and my ex-boyfriend have gotten so close over the years. Plus, my husband's ex-girlfriend is actually going to be there too. At first, I didn't really want her to come, but then I realized that if she comes, then her and my husband will hang out more, and I get to spend more time with my ex-boyfriend. So, you know, it's a win-win for everybody. Now that the bags are all packed, we're putting the kids down to sleep tonight, and then we are headed off to the airport. I can't wait to see him. This is gonna be so much fun.
What the was that?
Yeah, I think that they just have had bad experiences with women, so they're just somewhat poisoned against women in general. True?
I don't think I've been poisoned. I think I'm just doing what works.
Faith,
It's a matter of doing what works.
Excuse me. One thing the women's movement has taught me is to avoid speaking for other people. So I would like to ask you, if you think that men need to change in some fundamental ways and do a better job at listening to you, please clap your hands.
What's smarmy? Wait a minute. Do we have... This guy's like he's running This guy's like he's running for office here. He knows how to work the crowd, okay? I'm talking for the little guy out there who gets his head kicked in and always winds up being the buddy, the big brother, and here is, let's be friends. You want a friend, lady? Get a dog.
Okay. And here's the thing.
The asleep and the awake. The monk and the simp. The initiated and the naive. According to the documentary, Keith sort of straddled the middle here, which is what made it incredibly odd. The guy demanded traditionalism in the household, but then tried to make a woman out of a person who already had a body count and a habit of lying. It goes to show that going your own way isn't something you can bargain with. Choosing to put only one hand in the fire in an attempt to not get burned is a fool's errand, and it'll have consequences. Anyway, back to the story. Life for the pair began to unravel on November 2nd, 2016. That evening, Keith reported his wife missing after he discovered she wasn't home and hadn't picked up their children from daycare. Her purse and jewelry were left behind. An extensive search for the missing mom ensued. It wouldn't be until November 26th that an emaciated Sherri, covered in bruises, was spotted by a driver. She was bound with restraints and found nearly 150 miles from her home. Sherri told authorities 2 masked Hispanic women forced her into an SUV at gunpoint and held her captive.
Right.
Her blonde hair had been cut to shoulder length, and she had a blurred brand burned into her right shoulder, authorities said at the time. She had both male and female DNA on her body and clothing. A GoFundMe campaign raised more than $49,000 to help the family, which the couple used to pay off bills and other expenses, according to a court filing. During the lengthy investigation, Keith willingly took a lie detector test and passed. He also offered all my phones and computer, anything police needed.
Good call.
Keith said that at first he was elated to be reunited with his love, but then he started to question Sherri's story. There were many things that just didn't add up, but I wanted to support my wife, Keith admitted. If you can't trust your wife, who can you trust? I just kept saying to myself, I'm going to do everything for my wife. I was led to believe that she was happy with us and that she didn't want any other life with anyone else. I just wanted to support her at all times that we were together. With that being said, I'll never know all of the truth. Alright, so there's some feminist writing I need to clear up here. When the author of this says jewelry, she's actually referring to a wedding ring left on the nightstand before a run, which, for me, pretty much says everything you need to know about the situation. Also, the fact that Keith had to take a lie detector test and all 5 of his personal items had to be given to the cops, albeit the right move, is one of those man or bear standards cooked up over the last century. The system has become so messed up that everyone immediately blames the guy for the disappearance of his wife. So much time is wasted, often causing lives to be lost to fulfill these female empowerment standards. It's ridiculous. It's the reason all of us have to continue seeing things like this.
You know, you gotta sometimes break up with your boyfriend to find your husband. That's just what it is.
But don't let your boyfriend stop you from finding your husband.
Right.
Hoes.
This is from Columbus.
Oh, Columbus.
Yep. Literally after my picture went viral, my boyfriend broke up with me about a week later after arguing because he felt like Chris was too close on me. I'm just like, it's one of the most respectable pictures. It wasn't like I was bending over grabbing my ankles. But I would trade my ex for meeting Chris Brown 100 more times. So definitely really, really worth it.
When it comes to men, even most women can't argue that the needs are simple. Be present when needed, participate in the necessary roles, and don't flirt or mess around with anyone else. It's a black and white issue with no need for interpretation. This is where the man in this story, Keith, really dropped the ball. See, just months before the two got hitched, Keith learned about Sherri's dating history and that she had an intense fling with another dude. Now, any of us would have got up and said, there's decent service in the area, I'm sure you can find yourself an Uber. However, Keith hasn't been brought to the light. The man is still high on the 90s nice guy propaganda, so he found himself deciding to give the walking time bomb a chance. And this was the result. Keith wasn't the only one to have doubts.
Didn't see that coming.
Sherri provided descriptions of her alleged kidnappers to an FBI sketch artist, along with extensive details of her purported abduction. However, investigators later discovered evidence that would contradict her story. In reality, authorities said Sherri was staying with an ex-boyfriend nearly 600 miles away from her home and had hurt herself to back up her false statements.
Gotcha.
When a young mother went missing in broad daylight, a community was filled with fear and concern, U.S. Attorney Philip Talbert said in a statement at the time. Ultimately, the investigation revealed that there was no kidnapping and that time and resources that could have been used to investigate actual crime, protect the community, and provide resources to victims were wasted. Yep, and this is why feminists try to claim that tying these behaviors to the movement is incorrect and unfair. But I'm gonna go ahead and do it for this very reason. So many chicks in the West like to talk a big game about how their participation in public life has been a net positive. But when thousands of them pull attention-seeking stunts like this that cost millions of dollars in taxpayer money, in addition to the expense of carrying citizens directly, suddenly they try and claim that this is an isolated incident. The truth is, this stuff is rampant. If it's not divorce or child support, it's blocking freeways for 10 hours to help a silly cause. If it's not that, then you have women like Sherri here shacking up with a guy and wounding herself to come out of an affair as a hero. But whenever this is mentioned, without fail, they try and target masculinity.
I'm gonna speak personally for me. Most men that I deal with these days, they love not unconditional. You gain a little bit of weight, you post one wrong picture, oh, she a bop, I don't want her, or this or that. Like, no, ain't nothing unconditional about these days. So yes, my love comes with conditions. I want certain things in place for me to fuck with you. That's what.
Maybe y'all love come with conditions.
It does.
So you don't love a man unconditionally.
I don't.
Awesome shit.
I'm sorry. Cause here's my thing. Say, cause you know, I'm a cute little thing. Say a man loves me as I am right now, right? Say I gain 400 pounds within the next year. I'm not gonna expect that man to love me as he did as I am now.
But you should.
I'm not going to though.
That's your assumption.
That's reality.
That's your assumption.
Well, that's my assumption and my reality.
What a waste.
Guess who called me? My ex.
You serious?
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck you still got his number?
I didn't. I know his number.
And it's not blocked?
No, he's never bothered me before, so that's why I'm like, what the hell?
Never bothers you before, so you didn't block it. Okay, we'll keep that in mind.
He's never bothered me before till now.
Okay.
So I was just
What?
wondering, should I call him back?
Yeah, call him back. Yeah, invite him for dinner. Call him back. Invite him for dinner.
Serious.
Yeah.
Should I call him back?
Go ahead. Call him back. Call him back. See what happens.
What do you mean, see what happens?
Call him back. He could be a good guy. I might like the guy.
Yeah, no, I'm just I want to call him back to see what he wanted.
And this is the move Keith should have made. Instead, we have this mess. The DNA found on Sherri eventually led to the former boyfriend, a court filing revealed. The ex told investigators that Sherri stayed with him at his house during the time she was gone, though they never had sex.
Liar.
His account was verified when authorities tracked the locations of 2 prepaid cell phones that they had been using to secretly talk to one another as early as December 2015, according to a 55-page affidavit filed in court to support the criminal charges. A cousin of the former boyfriend also told investigators that he saw Sherri in the man's apartment twice, both times unrestrained. Records backed the ex-boyfriend's story that he rented a car and drove Sherri back to Northern California. In March 2022, Sherri was arrested and charged with making false statements to federal agents and mail fraud. A month later, she formally pleaded guilty, admitting her kidnapping claims were a hoax. Keith said that at first, he attempted to protect his young children from the possibility that Sherri's kidnappers would come to finish the job. But after Sherri's admission, he tried to shield them from the relentless media scrutiny. According to the docuseries, Sherri claimed that Keith was a controlling spouse. He said the allegations were hurtful and untrue.
I believe him.
She was saying I was beating her and that the cops wouldn't do anything, claimed Keith. When it came to our mutual friends, it was a totally different story. It was hurtful to hear those things at the moment because I'm not sleeping, I'm not eating, I'm fighting for my wife's life. And to know that she was going around saying these untrue things, it's hurtful. But you can see a pattern here. In September 2022, Sherri was sentenced to 18 months in prison for faking her kidnapping. She was released early in 2023. So this is really how the story ends. Now that Sherri was outed for everything, including the unspeakable things she did to her own children, she had to give back $30,000 to a victim's fund she took from a charity and lost all custody rights. And later, as you might have predicted, they discovered that she felt no remorse for her actions, at least nothing authentic. This seems like a crazy story, and it is, but also similar to things we find every day when it comes to these women in the western half of the world. There are countless clips of them caught cheating, trying to call the cops for a man entering his own home, or cases where a woman destroys her husband's car, trying to tell the investigators that she did it because she felt she was in danger. So now we're tired, and the game has changed, because at the end of the day, we all are refusing to play it.
Babe, promise me you haven't been texting other guys?
Babe, seriously? I know you probably think I have all these guys in my phone.
No, I don't think you have any guys.
No, I have guys. I just don't make my move, but I have them. Trust me.
I don't think so.
I'm not arguing with you on this.
I'm only asking because I have screenshots. Did you or did you not DM Ryan last week?
Ryan? No, that's my cousin.
You said, hey, you're so fine. You got left on red.
That's my cousin. He hurt his knee the other day, and I was asking if he was fine.
With a heart emoji? Anyway, I don't know what's more embarrassing. The fact that you tried to cheat or the fact that you couldn't. To make it even better, yesterday you sent a DM to Jack and said, do you want to go to the movies? I can show you something nice. He said, get out of my DMs, loser.
That's an inside joke. He used to be my coworker.
So, if you're going to cheat, at least succeed.
I tried to. I don't think this relationship is going to work out.
Yeah, I know. All of your stuff is outside in a box.
I take that back. I need a place to sleep tonight.
Okay, then text Josh, my brother. Wait. He didn't respond. Let me show you how it's done.
Is that my sister?
Yep.
I'm so sorry I didn't mean to do any of this to you. It was all an accident.
Womp to the saddest womp.
Be careful what you ask for.
What would you do if I won the lottery?
If you won the lottery?
Yes. Think big.
Think big.
Yeah.
I'd take half and I'd leave you. Go live on an island somewhere by myself.
Well, do I have news for you? I, on a scratcher, won $40. So you get half. That's 20. See you when I see you, I guess. Later, bro.
$20. Not a bad deal considering what Keith had to pay. Jokes aside, dark ones included, this is a perfect example of why it's always best to run in a race devoid of deception and household intrigue. So many guys used to be like Keith here, caught in the snare because the general knowledge wasn't as accessible. Well, now it is, and I'm happy to say that all of you, including everyone else going their own way, don't ever have to deal with these nightmares again. That's a hell of a win.
As always, I wish you tremendous success. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember that if you leave the best comment, you'll get $5. Thank you so much for watching. If you found value in this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads, drop a comment, and share it. See you in the next video. Till next time.